I rise like the sun sometimes, but then I fall. Like a black moon, I rise when the night falls. When the night falls, the mic calls, so listen, it's the ultraviolet rays that keep me rising on the mission. I rise like the sun sometimes, but then I fall. Like a black moon, I rise when the night calls. When the night falls, the mic calls, so listen, it's the ultraviolet rays that keep me rising on the mission.
What up, all my hype beasts out there, man? How long has it been? It's been a while since I've been on here, just connecting with you guys one-on-one or one-on however many. Been focusing a lot on narration type videos or whatever, so I haven't been just jumping on the camera, but I just decided, hey, this is the type of video that built this channel to begin with, so gotta keep incorporating these videos. So anyway, just wanted to get on here and talk about what's going on in the league. So Memphis, we found out yesterday that the Memphis Grizzlies have finally given up on the grindhouse. Mike Conley and Marc Gasol are going to be traded. They said they're going to be listening to offers. If they're listening to offers, those guys are out there. Both of those guys are really good players. Mike Conley, in my opinion, is a fantastic player, incredibly criminally underrated. People will be blowing up their phones until the trade deadline, basically. The point is that they want to build around Jaren Jackson Jr., who they have a high belief in, and who everybody should have a high belief in. He's a heck of a young player. Very good already, will just get better and better. So they're straight. I do think it's a little bit premature. I mean, Mike Conley is not an old guy. I feel like if they can figure their situation out, they could still win, but win now and also still develop Jaren Jackson. But if they want to go straight for the future and start, getting young talent in there around them, that's fine. Mike Conley is the guy. Like Marc Gasol too, but in today's NBA, guard play is so much more important than having a center who can do, the things Marc Gasol can do. So that's why I keep focusing on Mike Conley. Mike Conley being available is a big deal to everyone. It should be a big deal to every team in the league. Literally every team in the league should be jumping at the opportunity to try to get Mike Conley. Now, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Phoenix. I don't know about Phoenix. Phoenix is not really going to be in the picture, and Mike Conley's still young, but he ain't that young to have to wait on those guys to figure it out. All right, so Phoenix, to me, if I'm Mike Conley, I don't want to go to Phoenix. Okay, you start talking about Orlando. Orlando sorely needs a point guard, but Orlando's a little bit different. Orlando's in the Eastern Conference, and they are in position to possibly be a low playoff seed. So he can go there with those young guys and still make the playoffs. And those young guys, I'll tell you, those young guys are interesting. For a while, I've been wanting Orlando to engage the Knicks and see if they can get Frank in from the Knicks, just because wingspan. That's what that team is. You got Bamba, crazy wingspan. You got who's Jonathan Isaacs or whatever. I don't even know if he's that great of a player yet, but he has a crazy wingspan. They have all these huge, long guys or whatever. Eventually, they are going to be a problem to play against, because if there's one thing that still bothers teams, whether they're shooting threes or whatever, is length. If they can't get a clear pass in the lane or an entry pass or whatever, it's going to cause them problems. And that's definitely what Orlando has. Anyway, I don't know that Orlando is a great destination either. But one of these playoff teams, if you're a playoff team and you don't, Denver is one. Now, Denver is doing great with Jamal Murray. There are two shooting guards who can handle and kick the ball to Jokic or whatever. But could you imagine a real point guard being in Denver with what they're doing? That's crazy. Mike Conley, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, he's better than a lot of point guards in the NBA. And if you're a team that does not have a point guard, and it could be Detroit, that would be almost, that would be beautiful for Detroit. Pair Mike Conley with Blake Griffin and those bigs. Now, Detroit still stinks because they can't shoot, but still, like, he would help them tremendously. Once again, they are in position to be in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Mike Conley would change the fortunes of a lot of teams in this league. So that's going to be very interesting. I heard people talk about the Lakers, and I'm pretty sure the Lakers like what they have in Lonzo Ball. He's their guy for now and for the future. I strongly doubt they will be that much interested in another franchise type point guard. But yeah, Mike Conley, literally every team should really be the Clippers. The Clippers. I didn't even think about the Clippers. The Clippers are in playoff position in the Western Conference. Could you imagine Mike Conley on the Clippers with how they've been playing this whole season? I know they have, a young boy there that they're trying to develop at point guard. He's going to be another one of these big point guards, and he's been playing well so far, but still, it's Mike Conley. You can say the same thing from Marc Gasol, a team that doesn't have a center. He is quite a center to have on your team. He's pretty healthy at this point, and, he'd help a lot of teams a whole lot. But yeah, that's going to be very interesting. We'll continue to watch this whole Memphis situation. I'm curious to see where these guys will end up, because I know they'll end up somewhere. These guys are not going to get past the trade deadline. If Memphis is listening to deals for those guys, motivated to let those guys move on with their careers, those guys will move on with their careers. It won't be a situation where they have no takers. I strongly doubt that. But yeah, that's very interesting. I thought it was, when I saw the news come across yesterday, I was just like, finally, I would love to have seen Mike Conley. I remember when Carmelo was in New York and he was still good. I wanted so badly for them to try to figure something out for Mike Conley, because he would have been like the perfect point guard for Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo Anthony was good. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about Mr. Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis is currently injured. He has a finger injury, so get well soon. He's out a week or two, could be longer. We'll see. There's no secret that Anthony Davis probably wants out of New Orleans because, they lose too much and he wants to get to a winning organization. He's been in the NBA a while. He's been to the playoffs twice. The first time he lost to a Golden State team, he skipped a couple years in the playoffs. Then, he got back last year, and after having a successful series versus the Portland Trailblazers, who should have never lost that series, but after beating them, then they lost the next round. And that's really the only two times Anthony Davis has seen the playoffs. And it just seems, for a player of his talent level, it just seems like a shame, right? So what should he do? In my opinion, I think Anthony Davis, one thing we've learned about clutch sports, and we learned about, players being empowered to make their own decisions and things of that nature, is that you gotta have to be nasty with it. And kind of like Kawhi Leonard was last year. I'm sure it wasn't that bad between Kawhi Leonard and Popovich, as we saw when they, had their little hug at the end of the game. Didn't seem like it was too bad between those guys. However, Kawhi Leonard was not playing games this offseason. It didn't quite work out the way he wanted it to, but he was not playing games, and he took a hit. He took a hit as far as his public image goes or whatever. People was like, oh, everybody was just like, Kawhi Leonard is a silent assassin who goes about his business. He's perfect Spur. Up to this point. Now, in the offseason, then everybody was talking about, oh, all this time he was really a crybaby and this and that and this and that. He got traded. He will probably be an MVP candidate this year. He took a little bit of a public image hit, and that's what I think Anthony Davis is scared of. I think he probably wants to go ahead and leave. I'm sure he wants to go ahead and just demand the trade, but it's just too sticky. Like, first, you have to tell your team that I want to be traded, and then you have to have your agent, send a memo to the rest of the NBA that, hey, I'm up for a contract in another season. I will not resign with anybody but a particular team. That kind of puts the bad eye on you, around the league. People think that you're, a diva type player. Oh, you don't want to play ball. You want to choose where you want to go. And the fans hate it. Like, if you're a Chicago Bulls fan and you're hoping for Anthony Davis and he says he definitely, you want your team to trade for him, and he says, yeah, I definitely don't want to stay there. I definitely don't want to resign. Who does he think he is? So you take a public image hit when you do that. But ultimately, you may not get exactly what you want right away, but a lot of times the players get what they want. If they want to be traded to a particular team, the team puts together a package good enough to do it that's hopefully better than everybody else, and they do it. And that's exactly what would happen if he did that. he would get traded to the Lakers one way or the other. The Lakers have pieces. They have Ingram. They have Kuzma. They have whatever contracts needed to make the money work. They could do it. They have young players who teams are still fairly high on. They could make the deal work, right? What it's going to take is for Anthony Davis to get tough, to get nasty with it, and start demanding stuff. And that's what I think is going to be a problem, because I really don't think, at this point, how many endorsements does Anthony Davis have? Does he have his own shoe? He doesn't have a signature shoe. He's like one of the best players in the NBA. He doesn't have a signature shoe. He's not on Gatorade commercials. He's not on Foot Locker commercials. You don't even see Anthony Davis, around. So at this time, is he worried about his image? Will he really take a hit like that just to get traded to the Lakers? Or will he wait it out, keep his good boy image, and just sign with them, 2 years from now, finish this season and finish next season, then finally become a free agent? By that time, LeBron's already year 3 of his last contract. That's going to be tough. Anyway, let me know what you think. What you guys think about the Memphis Grizzlies trading Mike Conley and Marc Gasol? And what do you guys think about Anthony Davis? Should he just get nasty with it, request what he wants, take no prisoners, or should he just continue just to be silent about it, say the right things? I'm focused on winning with this team and all that. Let me know down below in the comments. All right, see you next time.